The hilltop fortress of Alesia stood as a beacon of hope and defiance. Vercingetorix, the warrior king of the Gauls, surveyed the Roman legions encircling his stronghold. His heart was resolute, his strategy clear. He had outnumbered Caesar once before, using the land and its bounty to his advantage. This time, he would hold firm, sending for reinforcements from his allies across Gaul. The Romans, he believed, would either attack his fortified position and suffer heavy losses or hesitate long enough for his allies to arrive and crush them between two armies. Translate it into Urdu. But Julius Caesar was not a man to be easily cornered. A master of adaptation, he saw his predicament not as a trap, but as an opportunity. He ordered his men to construct an 18-kilometer-long wall encircling Alesia, cutting off any means of escape or supply for the defenders. Towering at 2 stories high, reinforced with ditches, stakes, and watchtowers, the fortifications were unlike anything the Gauls had ever seen. Then, in a stunning display of tactical brilliance, Caesar commanded the construction of a second wall facing outward, ensuring that when Vercingetorix's allies arrived, they too would be unable to reach him. Days passed, and the Gallic warlord watched with growing unease as the Romans labored relentlessly. His men attempted small raids, hoping to disrupt the construction, but the disciplined Roman legions repelled every attack. The once confident Gauls now whispered of starvation and doom. Reinforcements had been summoned, but when would they arrive? And in what numbers? The answer came with the thunder of hooves and the glint of iron in the sun. The Gallic relief army emerged on the horizon, their cavalry forming a mighty wall, shielding archers and infantry beyond. They outnumbered the Romans 3-1. Vercingetorix's heart swelled. This was the moment of reckoning. The battle erupted in chaos. The Gallic cavalry surged forward, clashing with the Roman auxiliaries, their superior numbers threatening to overwhelm Caesar's men. But the Romans had a secret weapon, elite German cavalry, trained in relentless, brutal efficiency. The battle raged throughout the day, and just when it seemed the Gauls had the advantage, the Germans turned the tide, driving their foes into retreat. The relief army fell back, licking its wounds, as night descended. On the second night, the Gauls struck again, launching a surprise attack at a weak point in the Roman defenses. A young commander named Mark Antony led the counterattack, rallying his men with unmatched bravery. The Roman lines barely held, but hold they did, and the Gauls withdrew once more. Then came the third day, the final assault. The Gallic reinforcements seized high ground beyond the Roman fortifications, and in one coordinated strike, they attacked along the entire length of the Roman walls. Vercingetorix's cousin led a daring charge, breaching the outer wall, sending waves of warriors crashing into the Roman defenses. The Romans, stretched thin, were on the brink of collapse. Caesar, ever the tactician, rode through the battlefield, rallying any men he could spare. With a force of 6,500, he reinforced the weakest points, personally leading the desperate defense. But the breach widened, and the Gauls poured in, sensing victory. It was now or never. Then, in one final gamble, Caesar took command of his cavalry, leading them in a daring charge that shattered the Gallic lines from behind. Panic spread like wildfire. The besieging Gauls saw their comrades fall and lost their will to fight. They turned and fled, their massive advantage nullified in a heartbeat. Vercingetorix, seeing his reinforcements routed, retreated into Alesia. The next day, he surrendered. Caesar had done the impossible. He had turned a hopeless situation into one of his greatest victories, using strategy, discipline, and the iron will that would one day make him master of Rome. His genius lay not in mere formations or numbers but in understanding the heart of battle, how to deny his enemies their strengths while amplifying his own. And with the fall of Alesia, so too fell the last great hope of Gallic resistance.